These are the charts of Rivian, and let's just go to the daily chart as prices selling off. They reported earnings last night, and I guess Wall Street wasn't that impressed. Now, a couple of things to note. Let's scroll out to the weekly chart, and you have what was major resistance at the $15 level is now support. You can see how price dipped its toes in the upper end of that band and bounced about 20%. However, there is more downside risk as your momentum is to the downside. Now, I do want to point out this level at $20. Let me show you, because that was a previous buyer's level. On the daily chart, and it did hold one time back in September, but then it hit resistance, and then it breached through it back in October. Before we continue with the analysis, let's look at this article. It gets into the details of the earnings announcements. They also made a statement that should increase their orders in the future. So stay tuned before we continue with the finalize the analysis. Again, this is an article that's coming from Yahoo Finance. Rivian stock higher, right? So it opened higher to go lower, right? So just keep that in mind. As EV maker boosts production forecast, trims lost productions. So third quarter, they beat expectations in addition to upping its production forecast for the year and narrowing its full year lost production. So you would think the stock would go up, right? Kind of tells you of the recent price action. From a production standpoint, Rivian boosted its full year forecast to 54K from 52K. Its prior forecast of 52K units was lifted earlier in the year from 50K. So again, they're boosting their production. Rivian also narrowed its full year adjusted EBITDA loss to $4 billion from $4.2 billion and revealed its 2023 capex guidance was reduced by to $1.1 billion. Finally, here's the big news, in my opinion, from the earnings. Rivian said it no longer is subject to exclusively selling its electric delivery van at Amazon, which is a shareholder in Rivian. Rivian still also plans to build 100,000 delivery vans for Amazon per an early agreement. Amazon is waiving off the exclusivity clause, creates a key upside potential to unlock their electric delivery van from being only 20 to 35K deliveries towards the 60K plus capacity. Analysts from Bard said, here's what the CEO had to say. We are going to focus on driving up production volume and achieving better fixed cost leverage. It's all about economies of scale, achieving meaningful reduction in our material costs from a bill of materials point of view, working on building out our commercial and go-to-market operations to allow us to not only continue driving demand, but to continue driving up our average selling price. Rivian's path to profitability is by no means assured. However, Rivian's valuation balances the company's recent strong execution against a challenging 2+ year execution plan. Piper Sandler analyst Alexandra Potter wrote in a note, adding that there is a non-zero risk of delays and cost overruns. All right, so kind of going back to the daily chart, what was buyers became sellers. All right, so this is a flip zone, and we'll call that $20. Meaning, price was to move higher, you're going to look for sellers to step in. And when we look at that zone on the weekly chart, it's in the form of rejection candles, right? So that's That's the zone. Now, if I was to draw a weekly seller's level, I would draw it like this. So you have this daily seller's level nested within a weekly seller's level, making that $20 level a very strong resistance level. You also have this M pattern, right? Pivot low. So the $20 level is a huge barrier in which price is going to struggle to get through unless you have some amazing news going into 2024. But I wouldn't play Rivian right now. If you wanted to hold for the long run, maybe try to get some at the $15 level. But at the moment, there's still more downside risk. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Please like the video.